Hi, this is Rajat Kumar Shukla from Perpetual Learning. Today I will show you what softwares need for the power electronics engineering. Power electronics, that is nothing but this is the combination of multiple elements, right? Like inductor, capacitor, resistor and the semiconductor devices, right? So that is nothing but that is a circuit, and the question is how you will simulate those circuit. What is the meaning of simulation and what software is required to simulate those things, and why simulation is required, why software is required, we will discuss on today's lectures. So let's start. Yeah, why software is required. Before going to that, I want to show you what is the power electronics. First, power electronics, it's nothing but one of the semiconductor devices, one of the resistor, maybe one of the inductor, one of the capacitor, and that is connected with source, maybe AC, maybe DC, and then this is the resistor. So this is the semiconductor devices, which is represented by the switches here. Okay, so the scene is like that. You know that suppose this is a DC voltage. Okay, so you can just build a equation like VDC is equal to LDI by dt. If it is an inductor, if it is a capacitor, if it is a resistor, when switch is closed. Okay, when switch is closed, and 1 upon C integration of I into dt plus R into I. For the small circuit, this is enough to write it. When this is the condition when switch, suppose its name is switch, when switch is on, okay, then this equation 1 is valid. Suppose switch is off, then no current will be flow here, and so current is 0. When current is 0, then VDC is isolated. So the scenario, the question will come here. You have an equation, but this equation is how you will solve it. This is the first question. First question is how you solve the equation. I should say circuit. I'm just sorting the name circuit CKT. So how you will solve the circuit equation? This is one of the question, because this is a very simple question. This is a very simple circuit. What if there are a big circuit, then how you will sort out, because their equation will be very in non-linear term. Okay, this is the one question. So how you will solve the equation. The second question is, what if you are able to solve those things, ultimately you have to see the waveforms. Suppose what current is going when switch is closed and off, what voltage is occurring across the inductor. So what voltage is here. So ultimately you have to see the what is the waveform, what waveform it's look like, right? So how to see, how you will simulate it, how I should say solve the waveform or get the output. So the question is how you will solve the waveform. How you will get the output, get the waveform, right? This is the question. So these are the two questions, how you will solve it. Okay, the another question, suppose you are doing the practical, because power electronics is all about the practical circuits. Okay, first of all you make the circuit, and you will just check the what current is going on, what voltage is going on, and how you will select the switch rating. So this is my third question, how you will select the switch, because in market there are multiple types of switches available. So multiple types of switch, you can just choose this one. Let's say it would be PZT, it would be MOSFET, it would be ICVT. Okay, so depends on you what you will choose here, depending on your budget also. But the scenario is like what voltage of the switch, what current rating of the switch, you will select it. I mean, before going to market, before implement your circuit, you need a switch. I mean, sorry, you need a software. Software will tell you what voltage rating, what current rating required for the switch, what current waveform required. I mean, what current waveform is appear across the elements through this circuit. What equation can make this is another thing. I will get back to this point one, but to solve the point 2, point 3, and point 1 also, you need a software. But software, basically in the power electronics depends on the two category. One is a coding software and another is a simulation software. Okay, what is the simulation software? In the simulation software, you can get a waveform. I mean, you can get a current waveform of the circuit, or voltage waveform of the circuit, or switch waveform of the circuit. You can easily get the through this simulation. You don't need any equation of the circuit. In the coding software, obviously you need, I mean, you can solve the second and third problem of the second and third point of the through this simulation software. You can sort out this issue, but using of the coding, you need a equation. So you have to be some rigorous mathematical equation. You should know about the Euler's theorem. You should know about the Rangakutta method, or different numerical methods you need to know. You have to be put those methods through this coding. Okay, after that you will sort out this equation. What equation I have written in the equation number 1a. Okay, this is the equation number 1a. So through this coding, you can sort out the issue of the number 1 and number 3 issues. Okay, so ultimately you can use coding software or you can simulation software. It depends on you. Okay, so what type of coding software, what type of simulation software is available in the market, I will tell you in my next slides. There are most of softwares are available in the power electronics category to sort out the power electronics engineering category, power electronics related issues. So there are so many softwares are available to sort out my points 1, 2, 3. I mean, simulation software and coding software is available. I have chosen only these 6 softwares. Actually, this software is mostly used in worldwide. So that is, I mean, their popularity is very high. So that is the reason I'm using here. But apart from it, there are so many softwares. You cannot be bothered to choose these softwares. Okay, so there are one of the Matlab, one of the there are one of the Matlab, there are one of the LTSPICE, SQL, SCI-LAB, Plex, PSIM. So what is the category of these softwares and how we can differentiate? Let's check to my next slide. So in Matlab, actually this is the bad software. You have to be just buy it, and this Matlab software prices in lakhs, in crores. So I mean, for the common people, for the common person, for the student, I don't think so they can able to buy it. Okay, and however, some institute while this Matlab software, so you can use it, but after leaving that institute, or you are staying somewhere where, I mean, this is not possible to get the Matlab license, because Matlab provide a license if you buy it. Okay, so the problem will come. This is the bad software. So bad software, that means you have to buy it. Free software, that means you need not to buy. You can just go with that website and you can just download. Okay, so the scene is like, so I will just compare the Matlab and different softwares within the simulation or coding software, and which one is reliable or more convenient, at least for me. Okay, So MATLAB software is a simulation software and coding software, and the thing is like कि MATLAB have multiple accessories, multiple apps, multiple things involved in with the MATLAB only. You can, I mean, you cannot be bothered to do the things like if I talk about the Plex is also a paid software, but it is a simulation software. You cannot be code it, or maybe code it, I don't know, but but this is basically a simulation software, and you can integrate the Plex with MATLAB. Okay, you can integrate the Plex like in the MATLAB. I mean, suppose this is a MATLAB window, you can just choose the Plex here. I mean, inside the MATLAB, and this is the Plex and this is the MATLAB. You have to be do the things MATLAB using of, suppose, because in power electronics the most important point, how you will calculate the losses of the circuit, right? Other elements remain same, so that problem can avoid using of this MATLAB and using of this Plex, because MATLAB have ideal component and Plex can avoid these things. I mean, it you can add the some non-idealities easily using Plex. However, you can add the non-idealities using MATLAB also, but in the Plex that procedure is very convenient. Okay, so that is the reason. So Plex and MATLAB, the only drawback is MATLAB and Plex is this is the paid software. Otherwise, if you use a combo of this software, then you will get a very good result for the power electronics circuit. Another thing is PSIM. PSIM is one of the good software. This is free for the student version, but there are limitation. I mean, you cannot be used that more than 32 elements something is there. So this is the paid but free for this for the limited number of component. Okay, so you can choose it if you are able to buy it, or if you are able to access it. Another thing is SQL. I mean, these four software is a free software and my favorite softwares. So SQL, the most important point of the SQL is made from the IIT Bombay. So this is made from IIT Bombay, and I really coverage those people who are from BTech's first year, second year category. I really appreciate those person who use the SQL software, because this is not only free software. This is, you need not to be download it. You have to just open it. You have to just open it. This is not necessary. You just download it and you will run it. So that is the reason SQL is a more very this is a very weight. I mean, if you just download the MATLAB, Plex and PSIM, this is not only a bad software, but the problem involved it. This software take a huge memory of your computer, but SQL don't take. I mean, among these softwares, SQL is not take a, I mean, do not take a more memory of your computer, so your computer can relax and it simulate it faster and faster. So I would really appreciate the who use the SQL software. Now the point will come on the LTSPICE. Okay, so LTSPICE is not only free software, but it has a multiple things like the LTSPICE. I mean, suppose you want a device knowledge. I mean, in the Plex, in the MATLAB, in the PSIM, you will add the non-identities using of dataset, but in the LTSPICE you don't need any dataset. Just take a just take a LTSPICE file from the manufacturer, suppose Infineon, suppose Gain System, or different manufacturer of the semiconductor devices. You have to just take a SPICE file and just put LTSPICE library, and you can use LTSPICE. You can use that device in the LTSPICE window. Okay, so LTSPICE basically simulation software and free software. But so there are multiple things involved with LTSPICE. You can do the same like Matlab, but only the problem is they are not this is not a coding software. But I don't think so. This is any problem. Why, I will tell you. So only LTSPICE is not available. There PSPICE is also available, and this is paid software. But okay, there are one of the NGSPICE. This is also free, but this is free. But I would for power electronics engineer, I would recommend for the LTSPICE only. And there are one of the XSPICE. So multiple SPICE software is available. You can see here. XSPICE is also free. Now here SCI-LAB. SCI-LAB is a coding software. It is not a simulation software. As I already told you, like key. So what is the importance of the coding software? What is the importance of the simulation software? In coding software, you need equation, but you will be more insight in your work if you use the coding software. In fact, however, it will save your it will save your time if you use the simulation software. And in coding software, this time will, you need more time, but you will be more insight in your work, okay, in your system. So yeah, so why I was saying LTSPICE, which is a simulation software, there is no coding software. So this is not, this is maybe a drawback, but I don't think so. Why I don't think so this is a drawback? Because SCI-LAB is a coding software. This is very easy coding software. No need. This is like a Matlab, and SCI-LAB usually called a alternative of the Matlab if you are talking about the coding. Okay, so the scene is like, you can take a LTSPICE data and you can use those LTSPICE data in the SCI-LAB. That is the reason, if you just combine LTSPICE and SCI-LAB, so I believe this will nothing but act like as a Matlab, which is a king of the software. In my words only. So Matlab is a king of the software in my words. But if you use the LTSPICE plus SCI-LAB, this is just an alternative of the Matlab. So this is a free software and this is a paid software. So I believe for the power electronics analysis, this is a good alternative if you compare with the Matlab. What about NumPy? NumPy is basically a Python. NumPy is not only alone. NumPy is there are different categories available like NumPy, SciPy, Anaconda. So these are the Python software. Okay. So Python basically, if you are in suppose if you are in BTech, okay, and you know, you don't want a more burden on your work, so you can use a SCI-LAB. That is good, but I believe you should use, I really coverage you should use NumPy, Python. Why? Because with the Python, once you know the Python, how we can use Python in engineering, in power electronics, then you can get a more information about the Python, machine learning, regarding deep learning and different artificial intelligence you can learn with the Python. So I really coverage you. You should replace the SCI-LAB with Python for the coding. Because in Python, with Python you cannot be simulated, but this is coding software. So I really appreciate you. In fact, in my videos, in my power electronics videos, I would further circuit analysis I will done with the LTSPICE only and with the Python or SCI-LAB. It depends on you, but I will choose the Python. Okay, so it will also a good alternative if you LTSPICE plus SCI-LAB or Python, not and SCI-LAB and Python. I'm not saying. I'm saying SCI-LAB or Python. It will a good alternative for the Matlab. If you have any doubt, any comments, or any points you want from our side we will give you some information about it. You can connect us, connect with WhatsApp, Telegram, and different social media sites, or you send a mail with this perpetuallearning.in, or you can just visit our website through this perpetuallearning.in. Thank you.